Good morning, students. So welcome back to my 9th lecture of your subject code C701. Last 7th and 8th lecture, we have discussed the water quality parameters for drinking water, isn't it? So now we'll have a discussion on the numerical sums, numerical problems and solutions for further clarification of the theory portions. Not only that, the problem sums are often coming from this water quality parameter, and the two specific parameter I will be highlighting in numerical sums that are often questions are coming in your semester. One is the hardness, alkalinity, and another portion is the pH. So all these parameters related to the chemical parameters, chemical quality parameters in the drinking water that we have discussed in last 7 and 8 class lectures. So today, now I will discuss the numerical part and the solution. So let me put an example. A same example will be solved on the two parameters, that is the hardness as well as the alkalinity of water. That means you have to determine the hardness and the alkalinity of water of the same problem data. Then the conception, the much more will be clarified regarding the portion of the hardness and the alkalinity. So take care of these things. So I'm just reading the problem, what is given in the sample solution. Water sample, pH is given. What is the pH value given? That is the 7.2. The pH value is given. Okay. Now concentration of ions in the sample of water are stated, like calcium 2 plus equal to 40 milligram per liter. Magnesium 2 plus is given in the question 10 milligram per liter. Sodium plus is given 11.8 milligram per liter. Likewise, potassium, bicarbonate, sulfate, chloride, all these cations and anions are in mixed condition given in the water sample solution with a given pH of 7.2. And what you are asked for? You are asked for in the problem that you have to construct a bar chart of the ions in terms of milligram per liter CaCO2. Why milligram per liter CaCO2? Because in the theory last 7 and 8 lecture class we have observed that both the hardness and the alkalinity measured in the calcium carbonate scale, that is in milligram per liter as CaCO2, that you have observed, that you have seen earlier two parameters in hardness, both in hardness and the alkalinity. So the construction of the bar chart has to be made in terms of the milligram per liter CaCO2. And you have to calculate, numerically you have to calculate what? The total hardness, TH means the total hardness, the chemical, carbonate hardness, CH means the carbonate hardness, NCH means the non-carbonate hardness, and last one is the alkalinity. So in the same problem, we can calculate the hardness as well as alkalinity. And as we know, the hardness are the temporary hardness and the permanent hardness. The temporary hardness is TH. You can say, sorry, the total hardness is TH, and TH total hardness consists of the temporary hardness as permanent hardness. Temporary hardness means carbonate hardness, that is easily boiled removed by boiling, and permanent hardness is the non-carbonate hardness. So CH plus NCH will give the TH, that is the total hardness that you have to find out. Let me solve the problem. Let me show you the solutions. How you have to take care of this problem. First of all, you have to prepare in a tabular manner all the data. You prepare a table. A table will have some 7 columns, and that required numbers of rows as per the numbers of ions are concerned. That is 7 numbers rows. Since 7 ions are given in the question, and the 7 columns are there, that table you have to create first. First column will represent the ion concentration. What are they? Calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, bicarbonate, sulfate, and chloride. So it's a mix of cations and the anions, that means positive ion and the negative. Second column corresponding to the concentration of the ion, which is given in the question. That is given in the question. What is that? That concentration is in milligram per liter. It is given in the question. Suppose calcium is given in 40, magnesium 10, sodium 11.8, potassium 7, bicarbonate 110, sulfate 67.2, and the chloride is 11.0. Now the third column you have to mark as the molecular weight. That is periodic table in chemistry. All we know in our school life, school subjects chemistry, that molecular weight you have to take in memory. As per periodic table, it is given. Calcium is 40.1, magnesium is 24.3. If you forget the integer value, integer part is not essential. So calcium 40 also can be enough to consider. But here, since I am showing you the problem solution, so 40.1 for accurate analysis I have considered. But you may take 40 if you don't keep in your memory 40.1. That is the after the decimal value if you can't remember. So that I am just informing to you. So likewise, magnesium 24.3, sodium 23, potassium 39.1. Bicarbonate 61, sulfates 96.1, chloride. So this type of chemical problem, why I am telling the chemical problem, because these are the chemical parameters hardness, alkalinity. You have to have a knowledge in the following the chemistry part, that is the what is the molecular weight of the substance, that you have to aware. So these common ions you have to take in your memory the molecular weight. Then valency also you get from the periodic table in the chemistry, that is the calcium ion valency is 2, as it is 2 plus, magnesium 2 plus, so it is valency 2, Na plus, so valency 1, potassium plus, valency 1, SCO3 minus, valency 1, SO4 2 minus, that means 2 minus means 2, valency 2, Cl minus, so 1. So from the ion concentration, you can see what is the valency, corresponding valency in numerical form. Now the fifth column, I will mention about the equivalent weight, which is nothing but the molecular weight divided by valency. Suppose calcium, I can consider calcium molecular weight is 40.1. Actually, molecular weight is gram per mole. So if we convert this gram per mole, if we multiply both sides, numerical and denominator, by 1000, so what will happen? Gram will be converted to milligram and the mole will be converted to millimole. So gram per mole and milligram per millimole are the same. So that I have written over here. So calcium 40.1, if it is the molecular weight, that milligram per millimole, vis-a-vis I can say gram per mole, and the valency is 2. Then what will be the equivalent weight of the calcium? Equivalent weight is of the calcium is 40.1 divided by 2, that is 20.05. Similarly, magnesium, if we divide 24.3 divided by 2, it will give 12.15, and so on. Like last one, I am just highlighting 30.55 divided by 1, that is 35.5. So the equivalent weight which you are getting, that is the milligram per milli equivalent. Now concentration, what is concentration? Concentration means molecular weight divided by equivalent weight. Concentration in milli equivalent lit, concentration is milligram per liter divided by equivalent weight. Concentration, again I am telling for your for clearing your confusion, concentration in milli equivalent per liter, it is nothing but the concentration in milligram per liter divided by the equivalent weight, which is milligram per milli equivalent. So milligram will be omitted from numerator denominator. Ultimately it will give milli equivalent per liter. So the concentration of milli equivalent per liter will be obtained as concentration is milligram per liter 40. Suppose I am putting one example, calcium is concentration milligram per liter is 40. Equivalent to it is milligram per milli equivalent 20.05. So what will be the concentration of calcium in milli equivalent per liter? It is simply 40 by 20.05. That means 1.995. So this is the thing, and so on. Like magnesium, sodium to calcium, we can chloride. We can find out the concentration is milli equivalent per liter, which will be obtained dividing concentration by the equivalent weight. And the last column, that is the 7th column, is concentration but in different unit. What is that unit? Concentration is milligram per liter as CaCO3. What do we mean by as CaCO3? Because the as CaCO3, as I mentioned in your lecture class, that if we want to convert the concentration as CaCO3, suppose calcium. So what we will do? You have to do the calcium carbonate. We do as a calcium carbonate. So you have to know the equivalent weight. What is the calcium carbonate equivalent weight? That is the calcium carbonate equivalent weight. Calcium carbonate molecular weight, that is the 100 divided by 2. Valency is 50. So calcium carbonate calcium carbonate equivalent weight is 50. And what is the calcium equivalent weight? Calcium equivalent weight 40.1 divided by 2, that means 20.05. That means the concentration of calcium milligram per liter, if I want to express in milligram per liter as CaCO3, what I have to do? I have to do 40 into equivalent weight of calcium carbonate, that is 50, divided by equivalent weight of calcium, that is 20.05. So that means roughly it is 40.1 divided by calcium carbonate is 50 divided by 20.05, that is the molecular equivalent weight of calcium. Roughly it is 2.5, not exactly 2.5, maybe 2.49 or something this. So if you multiply with this 40, then you can arrive at 99.8. So what we have arrived? Arrived that the calcium ion, that 40 milligram per liter, if you want to express in the concentration in milligram per liter as CaCO3, then you have to multiply with the calcium carbonate equivalent weight, that is 50, and you have to divide by the equivalent weight of the ion itself, in this case calcium, that is 20.05. So we'll get 99.8. Similarly, it can be checked for magnesium also. Magnesium equivalent weight is calcium carbonate equivalent weight is 50, as I have seen just now earlier, and the magnesium equivalent weight from the table is 12.15. So 50 divided by 12.15 into 10, that will be the concentration or concentration of the magnesium in milligram per liter as CaCO3. So by this way, the concentration, first you have to prepare the tabular table incomplete in terms of concentration is milliequivalent per liter as well as concentration is milligram per liter as CaCO3 of all ions. Then through this computation, there is a checking of this computation whether the computations of yours in the tabular form are right or wrong. So checking procedure, that summation of the positive ions should be the summation of the negative ions, as the equilibrium condition should be maintained. So what is that? Now summation of the positive ions, you have seen, if we check as milligram per liter as CaCO3, what is the summation of the positive ions? The calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, these 4 ions are the positive ions. If we add these things, you will get 175.6. And what is the negative ions? That is the anions, that is the HCO3, SO4, 2Cl. If you add 90.2 plus 69.9 plus 15.5, you will arrive at the value of the same 175.6. So we can conclude here the sigma cations equal to sigma anions. In different unit, if you want to check, that is the milliequivalent per liter, then only 1.995 plus 0.82 plus 0.51 and plus 0.179. That means that 4 positive cations will give you the sigma cations equal to 3.51, and after checking you will find that the sigma anions in milliequivalent per liter is also 3.23. So this may not be exactly equal to 3.51, we have found it 3.23 because the 10% plus minus result error is accepted. So let us accept these things because it is within the 10%. So this is one check, either mgl milligram per liter as CaCO3 or milli equivalent per liter. Summation of the cations and anions are equal within the variation of the plus minus 10%. That error may be accepted to check whether your computations are right or wrong. Now the question what is asked for, the total hardness. As you know, in our theory class last 7th and 8th lecture in my previous, it was highlighted that the total hardness is due to mainly the calcium ion and the magnesium ion. So the total hardness will be adding of that two concentration ion in the water, that is Ca2 plus and Mg2 plus, which is 99.8 plus 41.2 equal to 141, which will be the one answer, that is called the total hardness. And that from tabular value you have to summation of these two figures, that is the calcium ion concentration and magnesium concentration are essential for total hardness. So total hardness is just summation of that calcium ion concentration and magnesium ion concentration, which have been tabulated in that tabular form, which is 99.8 plus 41.2 equal to 141 milligram per liter. It is, I am expressing in one unit, that is milligram per liter as CaCO3. If we can say milli equivalent per liter, then 1.995 corresponding value of that unit will be added. So total hardness has been calculated by adding the calcium ion concentration and the magnesium ion concentration. Fine. Now, there are other two factors also we have to find out. What is the carbonate hardness and what is the non-carbonate hardness. Before going that, let me discuss the, since it is a question of the, okay, let me complete the hardness first, then I will come to the alkalinity part. Although in the continuation of the problem, since it's a mixed problem of the hardness and alkalinity, I wanted to say something, but I will tell after the hardness answer is found out. Fine. So now the carbonate hardness. Carbonate hardness, what is the carbonate hardness? The total hardness is carbonate hardness, it is given in the question. What is that carbonate hardness? Carbonate hardness equal to 90.2 as CaCO3, that is given in the question. How it has been given in the question? Because in tabular form, we have got the carbonate hardness is HCO3 minus 1. This is only the carbonate hardness we can see. HCO3 minus 1, this is the only carbonate hardness we can see. Because sulfate and chloride are for non-carbonate hardness. As you know, the carbonate hardness is the temporary hardness, and that is due to the ion present HCO3 minus 1. So you take 90.2, which has been tabulated in this table, carbonate hardness. So we can see that carbonate hardness is 90.2 as is it HCO3 minus 1. So we can write here the carbonate hardness is 90.1 as CaCO3. Total hardness, already we have found out 141 milligram per liter as CaCO3. So what is the non-carbonate hardness? Non-carbonate hardness is nothing but the total hardness minus carbonate hardness, that is the 141 minus 90.1, that is the 50.9 milligram per liter as the non-carbonate hardness. What we can conclude? We can conclude that the total hardness of the water sample is 141 milligram per liter. Carbonate hardness means temporary hardness, we can say 90.1 milligram per liter. And non-carbonate hardness means the vis-a-vis, I can say this is the permanent hardness due to sulfate, nitrate, like these things, chloride. So this is non-carbonate hardness due to vis-a-vis, I can say the permanent hardness. It is found out as 50.9 milligram per liter as CaCO3. So this is the whole answers of the total hardness which you have already found. Now we can prepare the bar chart also, as we have been asked to draw the bar chart. So what is that bar chart? You see, the total bar chart has been prepared considering total ion, positive ion and negative ion, that is the cations and anions, considering 175.6. So extent of the bar chart is from 0.0 to 175.6, you see from the screen. Now the total hardness is 141, that is due to calcium plus magnesium, and the bicarbonate, that is the carbonate hardness is below 99.8, that is it is less than the value of Ca2 plus, as you see. So what we see that sulfate and chloride, that is the after 90.2, that is the permanent hardness, that is indicated by arrow, and this arrow is extended, which is called the NCH, means non-carbonate hardness. So it is very clearly given in that bar chart. What is CH, that is the temporary hardness, carbonate hardness. What is NCH, that is the non-carbonate hardness, and what extent, that is also marked in the arrow with this bar chart corresponding to the line of the bar chart. Fine. So this is one part, and second part is I am going to find out the alkalinity, which is also a part of your answer. You have to find out. Now alkalinity, as I have discussed in my lecture, I think the 8th lecture I have discussed. 8th lecture, just previous of this 9th lecture I have discussed. The alkalinity is due to the presence of the bicarbonate ion, carbonate ion, and the hydroxide ion. So these all three ions are additive only since H plus is creating the acidity, not the alkalinity, so it will be deducted minus H plus. So while calculating the alkalinity of the solution, we must add the HCO3 minus, CO3 minus, OH plus, OH minus. But one thing I will be I will subtract, that is the H plus. Because three ions are responsible for alkalinity: HCO3 minus, CO3 minus, and OH minus. And that three things would be additive, and one thing is subtracted, that is the H plus hydrogen. So it is given in the question in the beginning that the solution of the water having pH equal to 7.2, and we all know that pH equal to minus log 10 H. So what does it indicate? If pH equal to minus log 10 H, so log 10 H equal to minus pH, that means log 10 H equal to minus 7.2. That means H plus equal to 10 to the power minus 7.2. So this H plus ion concentration in grams per liter or moles per liter can be obtained from the pH value which is given in the question. So H plus value, since pH is given in the question, H plus is given in the question, which is nothing but 10 to the power minus 7.2. Anything pH equal to X, if given, pH equal to X means H plus equal to 10 to the power minus X. pH equal to Y means X plus equal to 10 to the power minus Y. pH equal to elephant means H plus equal to 10 to the power minus elephant. This we have to take in your memory. pH given value means H plus is 10 to the power minus that value. So H plus is 10 to the power minus 7.2. It is given in the question. Fine. Second part, I will consider that from chemistry of our school level. Again, I am just recapitulating our whole days of our chemistry 9-10 levels of our school levels. The product value of that ionic product, that is the H plus and OH minus in the water, we know that we have learned from our childhood that it is 10 to the power minus 14. That concept we know, that 10 to the power minus ionic product, that 10 to the power minus 14 equal to H plus into H minus. Now applying this principle, it is in this equation only one is unknown, that is the OH minus. Because H plus is known, it is already obtained from pH value, that is 10 to the power minus 7. So what OH value will be obtained from this equation? It is obtained by substituting the value of H plus in this equation. Then we will get OH minus equal to 10 to the power minus 6.8. So the two products out of two ions, out of three ions causing the alkalinity already been found out. One is the H plus will be subtracted part, that has been found out. Regarding the additive part, one ion already out of three, that is the HCO3, CO3 and OH minus. OH minus has already been calculated from this expression, and that has been found as 10 to the power minus 6.8 mole per liter. So another two ion concentration we have to find out, that is the HCO3 and the CO3. Now HCO3 already given in the tabular form, we have calculated that 1.8 milligram per liter. Let's see the table. You see, the HCO3 means HCO3 1.8 milligram concentration. We have already calculated HCO3 1.8 milligram per liter. That means HCO3 is known to you. So 2 out of 3 ions, OH minus and HCO3 known. Then what you have to find out? You have to find out the CO3. Then only it will be possible to find out the alkalinity, as the alkalinity is a summation of the OH minus, HCO3 and the CO3. Now again we will apply the another principle that is given, that 10 to the power minus 10.33 equal to H plus into CO3 minus 2 divided by HCO3 minus. What does it indicate? That HCO3 is known to us, H plus is known to us, left hand side is 10 to the power minus 10.33. So the right hand side, the unknown part CO3 2 minus, that is CO3 2 minus will be calculated from this expression, and ultimately it will be found out 2.66 into 10 to the power minus 6 equivalent per liter. Now after finding out the H plus from the pH value, HCO3 already given in the tabular form, and CO3 2 minus from that relationship, from the dilation formula, that 10 to the power minus 10.33 equal to H plus CO3 minus divided by HCO3 minus. Then we have calculated CO3 2 minus is 2.66 into 10 to the power minus 6 equivalent per liter. Then what will be the alkalinity? Alkalinity is HCO3 minus, that means 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 3 milli equivalent per liter, plus CO3 2 minus, that is 2.66 into 10 to the power minus 6, plus OH minus, that is 10 in 10 to the power minus 6.8, minus the last one is the hydrogen ion concentration, that is the 10 to the power minus 7.2. Since the hydrogen ion creating the acidity, so while calculating the alkalinity, it has to be deducted, so it will be in the subtracted part. Take care, all the value will be of same unit, that is equivalent per liter, then only you can be added. So you can add this, all these 4 figures. So equivalent per liter, the same unit in which you are expressing the value, that you have to check carefully, you have to check. So adding these things, we have found out that alkalinity is 1.801 into 10 to the power minus 3 equivalent per liter. As you all know that both hardness and alkalinity will be expressed as in the calcium carbonate scale, that is will be expressed as milligram per liter as CaCO3. So the CaCO3 equivalent weight has to be multiplied with this value. So 1.801 into 10 to the power minus 3 into, why 10 to the power 3 into 50? 50 is the equivalent weight of the calcium carbonate, because we are transforming the expression in the scale of calcium carbonate, so you have to multiply with the equivalent weight of calcium carbonate. Into 1000 means, because gram converted to milligram, so that's why the multiplication factor is 1000. So the alkalinity value finally we are getting from this problem given is 90.1 milligram per liter as CaCO3. So this is the thing, overall problem. I have a single problem. I have just shown how to calculate the hardness, total hardness, non-carbonate hardness, permanent hardness, carbonate hardness, that is temporary hardness, and the alkalinity of the solution. But computations, you have to take care of the calculation part. And first you have to very beginning check the cations, total cations should be the total anions summation, of course, and it has to be accepted within plus minus 10% error. So next, the numerical sum of the different parameter which you have discussed in the last lecture, class 8, that I will discuss, that is on the pH. So pH, the problem very often comes in your semester, in your competitive exam, as well as in MCQ form question also. Some problems are there regarding the pH. So pH is very, very important for the numerical sum in your environmental engineering topic. Let me discuss one critical sum, so that if this is clear to you, then all questions related to the pH will be solved, because this is a typical sum I am showing you, and all other sum can be solved with the concept from this typical sum. So that's why I am discussing the typical solution. So there are the solution A and solution B. Two solutions are given. A volume also is given. Solution A volume is 300 milliliter. Corresponding pH is 7, and volume solution B, a different solution B, which the volume is shown as 700 milliliter and the pH value is 5. Now the two solutions are mixed, and you have to find out the pH of the mixture formed by mixing of these two solutions. Very interesting problem, because this will fundamentally clear the concept of your pH in your computation. Now first, from the solution A, if I say, as I have told you, that pH equal to Hathi means H plus equal to 10 to the power minus Hathi. pH equal to elephant means H plus equal to 10 to the power minus elephant. So here the same concept you have to take in memory. I am telling in that way that you don't forget in future. Hydrogen concentration of the solution A, it will be written as H plus within brackets suffix A. A means corresponding to the A solution hydrogen concentration equal to 10 to the power minus 7. Why 10 to the power minus 7? Because pH is equal to 7. It is given in the question. Same for B solution, we can write H plus suffix B. That means the hydrogen concentration of the solution B equal to 10 to the power minus 5 moles per liter, because concentration is moles per liter. Now for solution A, concentration H in 300 ml, concentration H in 300 ml, and for solution B, concentration H plus in 700 ml. So when both are mixing, then you have to take the weighted average. Weighted average means the solution percentage portion. That means solution A is 30%. So while mixing, the 30% of the solution A you have to take, and the solution B, 70% of the solution will be taken. Like you have solved any mixing problem of arithmetic in your mathematics in your school life, same thing has to be, same analogy has to be followed in this type of mixing of two solutions also. That means the H plus A, 30% means 300 divided by 1000, because total solution is 1000, and out of that solution A is 300. So what is the percentage? That percentage has to be taken as a weightage. So the concentration in the mixing part of H plus for the 300 meter solution is the 10 to the power minus 7 into 30%. You have to consider. Similarly, for solution B, we know that 10 to the power minus 5 is the H plus, but there the 70% concentration is there. So you have to take the 70% multiplying factor, and then you add the mixing, because first part of 30% and second part of 70%, and then you add, and doing that thing, if you will arrive at 7.03 into 10 to the power minus 6, the mixing concentration of the H plus concentration of the mixture, taking care the percentage of the volume. So ultimately you are calculating the concentration of the mixture, concentration of the H plus mixture, that is H plus concentration of the mixture, that is moles per liter, 7.03 into 10 to the power minus 6. If that is obtained, then the balance part is nothing but, what is the formula? pH equal to minus log 10 H. So pH equals to minus log 10 into H plus, just substituting the value of H plus, that is the 7.03 into 10 to the power minus 6, you will get the 5.153 value. So this mixture problem, solving of pH of the mixture solution, have taught you how you will multiply the factor of the percentage volume, because just like the mixing problem of arithmetic which you have done in your school life, because one is 30%, another is 70%, two mixtures when two solutions are mixed, that percentage weightage you have to take into the consideration, and that is weighted average, weighted summation, and that weighted summation will finally give you the final mixing concentration of the H. And that H plus ion, while it has been found out, then pH obviously will be found out. Substituting the value of H plus, in minus log 10 H formula, and which has been, the value of 10 is 5.153. So these two problems I have highlighted as two parameters. That's three parameters. I would rather say, because although two problems I have highlighted, but I have tried to explain you the three parameters. One is the hardness, second one is the alkalinity, and third one is the pH. And these problems often come in your semester exam in objective form, MCQ form, or in short question form. So kindly practice, go on practicing this type of problem. If you go through these problems, so definitely there will be a live lecture session in the Zoom platform or the GoToMeeting in live class. If further clarification needed, definitely the clarification may be done one-to-one interaction in the live class. But I would request all students to practice these type of sums, these type of problems from previous question papers, which will be uploaded very soon in your Google Classroom, and submit in due time for my checking purpose. For any clarification, we'll definitely discuss in my next live classes. So thank you. Have a good day.